So before getting too much further into this, there were some YouTube videos that I used to try and kind of like use as like the basis for these decks, or for the salad deck. So I'm going to link those in the description below because if you're like really wondering where some of these combos or deck ideas or whatever the case is, I'm gonna put those in the description below. Okay, so looking at the deck, this deck was pretty interesting to make, solid. And the main reason was because I've done a little bit of experimenting in terms of salad before, but I've never actually really tried it, and it was pretty fun. It was pretty interesting. So you have, of course, Lady Debug, 3 of it, 1 Gazelle, 3 Spinny, 3 Foxy, 3 Cyanide Mining, 3 Circle, 1 Jack Jaguar, 2 Mirror, 3 Parallel Exceed, 1 Sanctuary, 1 Rage, and 1 Roar. For the hand traps and defensive cards, we have 3 Ash, 3 Haunted Mansion, 3 Dark Ruler, 3 Droplet, and 3 Infinite Impermanence. And then for the extract, 1 Baguska, 1 Mirage Stalio, 1 Bortle Sword, Access Code Talker, Trans Code Talker, 2 Heat Leo, 1 Heat Soul, 1 Unicorn, 3 Sunlight Wolf, and 3 Baylings. So the interesting thing about this deck is that it's able to recycle its resources really efficiently. And it so you always want to special Mirage Stalio from your extract and then gain more resources and advantage that way, but you only ever really want to make it once. I learned that pretty quickly because I kept recycling it and not recycling like Sunlight Wolf, and then I realized, it's actually like really it's not that important of a card, Of course, you always want to special Jack Jaguar specifically with that card because it is going to make your grind game that much better. I chose to play Jack Jaguar specifically because, or like 1 Jack Jaguar specifically because you don't really want to play more. It's good for what it does, but you're able to special summon it and get it out of the deck so consistently that playing more copies just doesn't matter. And yeah. People may be wondering why I'm Mirror. The reason is because it's its own kind of card, right? Or like it acts on its own. So like if you can compare it to the other Salamangreat extenders, something like the other cards like the one that special summon it, I think it's like Peacock that special summons itself from the hand if you special summon like a Salamangreat card. This card is straight up better because you can activate it by itself without having to it's not reliant on something else activating, and at the same time you can special summon it if you have access to Lady Debug. You can you can discard Spinny and then special summon it back. It's a really good card. I think if they ever unban a Gazelle, because they've slowly been unbanning the salad cards. If they ever unban if they put it back to 3, then I think Gazelle you play at 3 and then you take both of the Mirror out. I think that is the correct thing to do. Yeah, in terms of other card choices, 3 Foxy may be a little bit confusing. But I thought that it was a really good card. It's a level 3 extender. It allows you to, it can special summon itself. It allows you to look for your salad cards. It allows you to link it off so that then you can trigger Gazelle. It's a pretty cool card. it's just so flexible, and it is essentially your 4th, 5th, and 6th normal summon if you don't have Lady Debug in your hand, and if you do, there are other ways to discard it and gain more advantage that way. So it's one that people really, I think, underestimate, but I think it's very good. Having said that, I wouldn't really take my word on it that much because I don't really play this deck, like Sebto or anybody like that. But yeah, so I think, yeah, I don't know, pretty cool. Yeah, I think most of the deck is pretty standard, honestly. You play 15 defensive cards because that's typically kind of what you want to play for a going second deck, and it's not really going second deck, I guess, but if you do go second, it's a very flexible deck, and that's why most people will play it, because you're able to play lots of hand traps, and your ability to see 2 is pretty high, along with being able to see like 3 engine cards. It's pretty good, and I don't really think I need to say much about that. As for the extra deck, oddly enough, I only ever really used 2 Baylinks, I think. The third never really came up, so honestly, I think a lot of people play 3. It's probably good for the grind game, but I never really got out into those that often. So I think Baylinks is maybe one of the more credible cards, but though I could definitely see like turns 2 and 3 needing it. 3 Sunlight Wolf is like you really can't play less than 3 because it recycles your resources like to such an extent that it's just such a powerful card. The night I played 1 Unicorn, never really took it out, but it's in theory good. Heat Soul is definitely one of the more cuttable cards. I never summoned it, like straight up. There was not a single game that I summoned it. I think I summoned every single card in the extra deck except for Heat Soul. I may have only summoned Unicorn once or twice, but I don't think I ever summoned Heat Soul. So I think that's probably that's definitely one of the cards that you, if you're like, I need more room in this deck, it's definitely one of the cards you should consider taking out. 2 of Heat Leo. Heat Leo is definitely very good. It can destroy your opponent's back row. Obviously, pretty powerful. I decided to play this over Nightmare Phoenix because I think that this card is kind of, it's a solid deck, and it does require more materials, but I don't know. It's a solid card, so I was like, all right, let's try it. I only really summoned it once, I think, but I think it was just it was a good card for what it was worth. So I don't know. I think it's definitely worth keeping around. Transcode Talker. This is one of the cards that I would definitely consider bumping up to more copies because it is a really good card. You can do so much with it. You can, even just special summoning it to attack and not even going into Bortle Sword or Access Code is just really good. Update Jammer, that combo, so if you wanted to take Heat Soul out and put an Update Jammer, that'd probably be really good. Just generally, the card overperformed. It was one of the best in the deck, in the extra deck, and I would, if you really want to play more copies, I would definitely consider it. We played 1 Access Code. This is for turns 2 and 3. It's really good. For obvious reasons, it's just able to nuke your opponent's board. It's just just really good. Bortle Sword, because Bortle Sword is it's different from Access Code. A lot of people see Access Code as like an OTK card. I don't really see it in that way because it's able to deal with your opponent's threats, but if you're considering like the Ad Ignister deck, you can't really deal with that outside of something like Bortle Sword. So I definitely think Bortle Sword was a needed card. Of course, Mirage Stalio, because it's a combo piece, it's just so amazing, ridiculous in the deck. And Baguska, I only really ever made this through Parallel Exceed, but in theory you could make it through some other cards. Yeah, that's the deck. I think it was pretty good. I definitely feel like there was a lot about it that I didn't understand playing, going through all those matches. There was a lot of it that I was kind of like, it feels like the deck can do more, and like I was overextending a lot of the time because I'm just not used to this kind of combo deck. I'm very used to like Thunder Dragon and to some degree Sky Striker, that kind of deck. So this was a very different, it was like a very different change of pace for me. So yeah, it was interesting for sure. So yeah. Hello YouTube, so today we're going to be going over some combos of the Solid Deck profile. Solid Deck, I'm sorry. So first of all, we're just going to start off by normal summoning it to clear the effect. We are going to search for Gazelle, I think. Yeah. And then we're going to link this off to the graveyard, do the normal shenanigans, Balinks effect. Yeah, I'm actually not that good at this deck, so I wouldn't like if you're just getting into the deck and you're like wanting to learn how to play this deck. I only know like the bare minimum because just starting, learning the deck. It's pretty fun, pretty interesting, but I don't know that much about it, unfortunately. But this is as far as I've been able to go. You link some of these two, and then you special this. And then if you have an additional extender, you can link for Sunlight Wolf again, and then add back your Roar, and you have one disruption. So that is off of kind of like this board is off of one card, but if you have an additional extender, it is going to be off of one and an extender. I don't really know what you do about this. I'm gonna try playing this hand. I've never actually tried this before. Frick. I already doing terribly. Yeah, so this hand looks interesting now. So I'm gonna try to play it out. So you're going to send this to the grave. Nope, I'm wrong. I am already wrong. Well, you could definitely consider putting that to the grave, but I think you send Spinny to the grave. No. You. So I was gonna say you send Spinny because Spinny is gonna special summon itself, and then you can make that one card, and then you can link summon, make Parallel Exceed, and then you can go on your day with your plays. But Parallel Exceed won't trigger, so I think you just send this to the graveyard, or like your other Spar Trap, link, and then trigger, declare, special. They're both level 4, so you overlay and you make Baguska. I think that's kind of like the end board for this particular hand. That's actually kind of interesting. I've never actually played that before. But if you only have Gazelle in your hand, you can at least make Mirage Stalio. I didn't do that for this particular hand because Baguska, you had the option of Baguska, and that's just such a powerful card. Outside of that, I think if you have like additional extenders, so I'm gonna see I think there's a best possible hand, and I'm still not like too good at this deck, so if you guys think this is terrible and I need to reevaluate, then that would make sense. But I think if you have like extender, I guess like this would be an extender kind of. I think if you have like a hand of this is the best possible hand, because you could just go normal, declare, add this to hand, and then you link this off to the grave to special this, and then you special this, declare, special, to grave, it doesn't really matter what you target, special, declare, send, special. Wow, this is a pretty good board. I'm actually happy with this. Overlay, declare, detect. I'm just gonna pretend like that didn't happen. Yeah. Okay, so anyways, so detach that, and then you banish, and then not banish, you special this, and then you go link, Shokin, and you go Sunlight Wolf, and you declare, and you add this to hand. Oh wait, you link this. I'm sorry, you don't do that. You link this, and then you link someone again, and then you declare, and then you add this to your hand. You set this, overlay, and make Baguska. I think that is the best board you can make, and because you special summon into this zone, you can actually add back this to your hand, which is pretty cool, pretty nice. Or if you have like Ash in the graveyard, you can actually add like Ash Blossom back to your hand, which is because it's a fire, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, this is the strongest end board. You're probably not going to make this too often, like at all. But yeah, typically you're probably going to have like roar and like whatever hand traps to back it up. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's just, I don't know. I definitely feel like there's more to the deck than like I can personally see, because like when I'm playing this deck, I'm like, it feels like there's something that I'm doing wrong with the deck. Like I'm just overextending wrong. So I definitely recommend like Septo, because Septo is supposed to be pretty good at the deck. I'm pretty sure he topped like a regional or something with it, which is crazy. You can also look at like Cimoooooooo has some combo videos. There was like original Yu-Gi-Oh or original something who made videos, combo videos, just those kinds of people who are more familiar with the deck. And yeah, I'll have their links in the description down below if you're kind of wondering how to play the deck, that kind of stuff. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Peace. Hello YouTube. So today we're going to kind of go over some of the duels that I played with this solid deck. So we played one Constellar matchup. That was the first matchup, so I didn't really I put that as first because it's not really meta relevant or anything like that. The second one was pure branded, interestingly enough, and the third one was Tri-Brigade. I don't really have too much to say about Constellar because it's not exactly like a great deck, in this format. It's kind of just, everything else essentially. But for the branded deck, we definitely it would have been a lot harder to deal with, but we did have 2 Dark Ruler no more, and so that definitely helped a lot. However, I still think that in the deck it probably wouldn't have mattered too much more, because if you drew something like Ash or like Infinite Impermanence, any of those other cards, it wouldn't have mattered too much anyways, just because they effectively serve a similar role. Or even if you drew an additional extender, that's just another way you can keep making plays. So yeah, that's kind of that matchup. We outgrinded them pretty readily. I think that the deck really at this point can't deal with Despia branded Despia that well. At least as far as I am able to play the deck, I can't really grind with this deck that well. But yeah, I mean, it was able to outgrind Despia, which was pretty cool. They normal summoned and like kept gaining advantage, but we kept stopping them, so it was pretty interesting match. As for Tri-Brigade, lost that one pretty readily. I don't think that there was too much. There wasn't really. It was pretty. It wasn't close at all. That's what I'm trying to say. It was just. It was. They won by a landslide. I'm not really familiar with the deck that much. Like, I know how to play it, but I don't really know how to deal with it, I guess. And that definitely showed with a quick 2-0 from the Tri-Brigade player. So yeah, I think I'll just kind of show some clips from the first 2 matches, and then I'll probably just put the full Tri-Brigade match, because I think that's kind of important to show just how bad of how bad I am at playing the deck, and compare it to Tri-Brigade, I guess. It's not really to discourage anybody from playing the deck, because I know Septo really knows his stuff. Like he's able to play the deck, and I'm pretty sure he got first or second place at some kind of tournament or regionals or something like that. Not 100% sure about that, but I'm pretty sure. So that was kind of cool, and it definitely goes to show that I'm just I just don't know the deck that well. Yeah, it was pretty interesting. Pretty interesting deck. Kind of fun to play. Yeah, don't have too much more to say about that. I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.